Hello, everyone. This is going to be a little bit of a different reading. I'm going to be shuffling on camera a little bit. I'm just going to pull out some quick messages, and this is just going to be kind of like, what do you need to know in your life right now, okay? So we have number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4. Of course, I'll keep the timestamps down below. And, take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and see what you're drawn to. And we will get a message for you, okay? This will be a pretty short reading. I'm not going to try to make it long and draw it out. I just want to give you guys some insight into something that, spirit, the universe, your guides, your ancestors, whatever you believe in, what they kind of like want you to know right now. So, okay, I'll see you in your reading. So let's see, if you chose pile number 1, so I mean not pile number 1, I guess stone number 1. I'm not sure what stone that is, but we'll see. Okay, I'm just going to draw some cards here, so give me a minute. Yeah. We have become better. Rely on yourself. And let's see. I think I'm going to take this stack here. Number 1 needs to know right now. Okay, there we go. That flew out. Fire magic. Ooh, okay, right away. So, let's get it. Become better, rely on yourself, and fire magic. So some of you might be fire signs out there, but you don't have to be. Definitely with the fire energy, though, with the fire magic, I would assume that it talks about being a very, following your passions, being a leader, and taking charge of your life. Again, we have that rely on yourself, and that's kind of a, I think goes well together. So with the Become Better cards, let's just look at the message on the back. It says, today's lesson. Discover one thing that would make you better and more empowered at what you do and who you are, and make it part of your routine. If this is difficult, identify why becoming better is something you wouldn't want to do. Your goal, to recognize how and why you sabotage your empowerment. Yeah, I almost feel like, see, with this fire magic, okay, maybe you're a fire sign, but that really doesn't matter. What I'm getting here is like, what are the positives of fire signs? Fire signs are energetic, they're enthusiastic, and they're usually, when they're hot after something, they're about ready to bust down any walls and anything to get better. Obviously, it looks like some of you, might have been, hindered in this in some way, right? Because, well, it says right here, like, identify why becoming better is something you wouldn't want to do. There might be something that, you need to add to yourself to become better. And I have a feeling it could be relying on others here. Because we have today's lesson. Look at the issue of dependency. Do you rely upon others to do what you should be doing for yourself? Healing is a solo endeavor, and while we all need support during this process, ultimately the task of self-empowerment rests with us. Your goal, to identify and modify the ways in which you release personal responsibilities to others. So I almost feel like one of the ways you could become better is to just rely on yourself. Have that fire energy of wanting to just, screw everything just to do what you want, just to get what you want done. And don't wait for somebody else, that your passion and, all that force is it's in your own hands. Okay. Just like in this image. Let's see. I just want to see the guidebook for this. Just looking 63. Wait, yeah, page 63. Let me see. So it says fire magic is all around us and is perhaps the easiest to integrate into our everyday lives with a touch of kitchen witchery. Let's see. The simplest way to connect to the magic of fire is to light a candle. This can be anything from the smallest tea light on your altar to a set of beautiful beeswax tapers added to your dinner table. Light a candle and send out a prayer, or just sit in meditation for 5 minutes as you watch the flame. I was actually going to recommend this, and it does. That's cool. Okay. Yes. I almost feel like that's something that you should be doing for real. Is that you need to connect with fire. Add some candles around, I would say, and do some meditations for sure. But that's what I'm getting is that just intuitively without the guidebook involved in this. I definitely feel like you do have a passion inside of you. And like it says, you may have been relying on others to help you keep this flame going. This could come in so many different ways. It could be love or romance. It could be work or career, really anything. It could creativity. But there's definitely some kind of passion that you do have that you do need to cultivate. And it may be that you've been holding back on it because you're relying on other people when you should be relying on yourself. Figuring out how to solve it yourself. Like I said, most fire signs, when they get passionate about something, they'll break down any walls that need to be broken down. They'll go after it, and they really don't give a hoot who's helping them out. You know what I mean? I just say that as somebody with a lot of fire energy in my chart. I have an Aries Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, yeah, and so I feel like that's really something that you need to be doing as well. When it talks about, identifying about who you are, what you want to do, and reigniting maybe the passion in your life, I would definitely, do some candle magic perhaps, or meditation with candles if you're not into magic. You know what I mean? So that's something I would just recommend. And I think that's something that, spirit, the universe, whatever you want to call it, or you know what I mean. That might be the advice that you're getting. Rely a little bit less on others, and rely more on yourself, in order to become a more better, version of yourself. Okay. So I hope that helps, and if it doesn't, sorry. Okay. Take care, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. So let's see. I'm going to go back over to, let's go to stone number 2. Geez Louise. Okay, let's see what messages you have. Pile first. Oh, geez, I keep saying pile because I'm trained. I'm trained, you guys, to say pile. Stone number 2. What's your reading? What message does we have for stone pile? Wow, that was stinking quick. Okay, we had these two pop out. Observe your conversations. Identify change. Let's just put those back a little bit so we know. And then I want to pull an everyday witch oracle card. Now, can I get one card, please? Oh my gosh, okay, sorry. Too many came out. Okay, there we go. Prosperity and abundance. Identify change. Observe your conversations. Let's see. Oops, sorry. Observe the conversations you engage in today. Are they productive or mean-spirited? Are they filled with gossip or stimulating information? Recognize the quality of information you feed your mind each day. Oh, okay, I know what this is, guys. And I hope that you're not going to get mad at me. Identify one small change that you've been postponing that would improve your life. This could be anything from cleaning a drawer to getting a new hairstyle. Change, symbolically, can be frightening. Your goal: to recognize that you postpone even small, insignificant changes because intuitively you know that they can ignite powerful ones. Wow, guys. If you guys are in the energy of, okay, with the observe your conversations, and I'm just as guilty, guys, so do not feel bad. I can get stuck on the negative, and hold on, I need to restart my camera. Sorry about that, I'm back. I have been guilty of, in the past, of just focusing on stuff that isn't really helping me, get any farther. Okay. It could be focusing on the negative of what people have said about me, or focusing on the negative things I'm seeing around me. And I feel like this is one of the messages of this card. It's that it's telling you, sorry, let me just focus my camera. Okay. Um, looking at your conversations that you are having with other people. Also, with the change card next to it as well, some of you may need to, I almost feel like if you're talking and not doing, it's kind of a reminder that this isn't going to, bring prosperity and abundance, okay? I'm also very guilty of that. Very guilty of that. This could be my pile. Uh, yeah, I feel like, well, like, okay, with this one, it makes a really actually good point here about that, change can be frightening, and sometimes that even small changes can be scary because intuitively you know that they can, ignite something much bigger. So there might be, you might be using conversations or focusing on the negative of something to kind of postpone changes because maybe you're scared of them, scared of change. It might be hard. But I feel like when you identify these things and you observe what you're doing and try to be a little bit more careful with what you're putting out there, I feel like you're going to get a lot of prosperity and abundance. And that's really the key to it. If you have been frustrated with that part of your life, in terms of that, prosperity and abundance. Let me just look really fast at the guidebook here for this. I bet it's an earth card. The bummer about these cards is that they don't have numbers on them, so you have to like really look. Okay, there we go. Oh wow, I turned right to this page right away. Wow. So it's easy to look at life from a position of lack. There are always things we want or even need that we don't have. But for most of us, the reality is that we are still better off than many others. Take a piece of paper and draw a line down the middle. On one side, write down the things that you don't have that you wish you did. Maybe that's a new car, or a better job, a nicer place to live, or even a new book by a favorite author. On the other side, write down the things you have: a roof over your head, food on the table, people who love you. No matter how large or small, write down the good things in your life. Look at both sides of the list. Does one greatly outnumber the other? Now take another look at the want side of the list and draw a line through anything you don't really need. It's okay to want things, but it's good to be aware that there's a difference between a want and a need. Now look at your list again. I'll bet they'll surprise you. So, it is a card that suggests about counting your blessings. So for some of you, you may have been in a bit of a negative state. Hopefully you don't shoot me for shoot the messenger. But I'm guilty, like I said, of this as well. It could be that maybe you haven't been being in a very good energy lately. I understand that, like, for me, I don't know. I feel like this just called to say this. If there have been, I don't want you to be the person who's making excuses for something that you can change. Okay? Is kind of what I want to say. Hopefully that doesn't sound preachy. It's like me. When I wanted to make my channel, for instance, I've had many things I wanted to do in my life, okay? so many different things. I'm crazy. I always want to do different things. But like, I often found excuses. And it was easy just to talk about it, find excuses, focusing on like, oh, I can't do that because I don't have this, or oh, I don't have that. And then it was just finally, like with my channel, this is an example of this channel, is that I finally was like, you know what? I don't need any of that stuff. I have enough, and I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna work with what I got, and I did, and you know, and it has brought me a lot of good things. Like, I really appreciate this channel so much, like in my connection to you guys, and I really, really love what I'm doing, and it's a great outlet for me. But, and that's almost, I feel like some of you might be thinking about something that you want to do, but you always are coming up with different excuses for it. You know what I mean? And I almost feel like that's a message that you guys need to hear, is that stop making excuses. Just do it with what you have. Okay? So, that's for you guys. I'm for number 2. And hopefully that didn't sound rude. I don't know. I don't like sounding mean. I always am afraid people are going to take things badly. Okay. So, good luck with you guys. And we got number 3. So, number 3, what do you need to hear today? Let's find out. Oh, right away. What is... Okay. Enhance your physical health. Surrender to the divine. And let's see. What is a message? Speak your mind. Ooh, interesting. Let me see. So we have enhance your physical health. So right away, I'm almost wondering if you need to exercise. So let's just look at the message here. Think about how you view yourself as a physical being. Do you perceive yourself as weak or strong? Do you tend to make excuses for why you're not proactive in your healing when you see what can and should be done? Your goal, to initiate one positive action in your life to enhance your physical health. And then surrender to the divine. Identify one fear that you need to surrender unconditionally into the hands of the divine, with the emphasis on unconditional. This prayer can truly change your entire life. Your goal, to lift the burden of fear from your soul. So, I definitely feel like that many of you with that, do you perceive yourself as weak or strong? I almost feel as if some of you don't realize how strong you are, actually. Perhaps you have a lot of fears, like, you know, and anxieties that you need to kind of release and just let it go. And, you know, this is kind of a thing about how you could be more proactive in your own healing. For some of you with the Speak Your Mind card, it might be that you need to speak up. You need to release some of your burdens. Like if you're stuffing them down and not releasing them, and it doesn't have to be that you release it to other people, but like they said, like to the divine, you know, out in the universe, or however, you know, whatever you believe. It can really affect your physical health, okay? Stress is a killer. It actually is. I took a psychology class, and it's kind of scary what stress can do to you, what it can do to you physically. And I feel like a lot of your physical, if you do have physical problems right now, like with your health, sick a lot, or maybe skin problems, or anything that's kind of going on with you physically, backaches, you know, all this stuff. It could be a lot of it is stress-based. And, you know, you know, the universe wants you to surrender that to them, your fears, okay? Some of you, it could be blocked communication. Some of you just might not want to slow down to speak your mind. I want to look at the guidebook real fast here. and get a message for you. Speak your mind. I bet it's an air. Yeah, I'm right. 321. Because air people love to talk. Okay. So if you pull this card, the universe is probably telling you that you need to speak up. Is there an issue or situation that you've been struggling with? Maybe keeping silent when you have had something important to say. Do you feel as though you're not being heard at work or in your personal relationships? Remember that you can speak your mind politely and assertively without being nasty and argumentative. If you get to speak your mind, that means you have to listen too. But don't let anyone or anything rob you of your own voice. Sorry, I had to restart my camera. Because it only records for 10 minutes. So that definitely, I feel like you guys might even be having physical symptoms in your life right now because you're not speaking up. Whether it's to people in your life, and even if it's something that somebody that you can't speak to, somebody that's passed or somebody that's no longer in your life, I feel like if you can't talk to them, at least release it to, like, out of yourself through prayer or meditation or some kind of way. If there is a person, I'm just feel led to say this, if there's a person in your life that you're no longer in contact with, maybe they passed or maybe you're just, too far apart, things have gotten too bad, there are ways to communicate through meditation to other people. I think I mentioned this in a recent video, but it was in one of the piles, so there's a huge chance that nobody heard this, but or no, actually I told it to Allison, who gave me the good tarot in her reading. But Kismet Rising has very good meditations, and she actually has one about communicating with people, through meditation. And so maybe that could help you if you do that meditation. I'll link it down below in the description for you guys. But I 110% recommend that meditation. It could release a lot of stuff inside of you. Okay? Now, for those of you maybe where you're just feeling stressed out in your life and maybe you're not releasing your thoughts and feelings, you really should. And like I said, if you don't feel like it's safe to do that, at least do it through meditation and trying to find some way, or, maybe it's not meditation, maybe through running or physical exercise. But I feel like there's some outlet that you need because I feel like there's a lot of blocked energy here. And don't be afraid to speak your mind, in certain situations, as long as you can remain calm and try to come at it that way. If you feel like the person that you're thinking about, if somebody comes to mind when I'm saying this, wouldn't be the type of person you could do it, then you might need to just remove that person from your life altogether, and perhaps just pray about it, to whoever you pray about, pray to or whatever, or what I mean, whatever you like to do. I don't have a set religious belief per se, so I'm pretty open-minded on that, but. Yeah, I think that's going to be your message pile, or stone number 3, pile number 3. And good luck. And let me know if that resonates. And I'm wishing you guys all the best. I don't know, that kind of made me feel bummed out for you guys. I don't know. I don't know. It's something about it felt a little bit stressful. Okay. Number 4. So those of you that chose number 4, let's see. What do you need to know right now? What's a message for you? Wow, okay. Appreciate everything, eat healthful foods. See one more card. Pile number 4, please. Oh, there we go. Here we go. Learn from life. Let me see. I bet that's an air card. I love this deck, but the guidebook's kind of weird because they don't have numbers on them, so I have to like go find the word. But usually it's easy to understand whether it's what element it is. Learn from life, 46. Just want to see what it says here. Haha, okay, that's interesting. Okay, so it talks about doing new things, okay? Yeah. And there could be some lessons in your life too that the universe is sending you, but I really feel like this is what it's telling you, is to learn something new, to get on that adventure and figure out what's going on. We have appreciate everything and healthful foods. So I want to read the messages here. So for appreciate everything, we've got on this day affirm, my life is perfect. Appreciate everything and everyone in your life without doubt or expectations. Your goal, to learn that the way to set change in motion is to bless and feel grateful for even the most difficult parts of your life. I think that goes very well with learn from life. You know, there may have been a difficult situation that you've been in recently where you just need to, take it for what it was and realize that you've learned something from it. Whatever that is, that it makes you grow. I definitely get that energy here with the egg in her hand of growing and learn, you know what I mean? Things growing and a new you eventually comes out of it, right? And then we have eat healthful foods. Eat only foods that are good for you. Perhaps this is something you normally do, in which case you should feel very good about how well you're caring for yourself. Most people, however, and me, know that they should be more attentive to this area, but find it difficult. Your goal, to practice healthy nutrition. For some of you, if you have been thinking about a diet, wow, okay, this is interesting. This almost feels like a message for me, or something I can relate to, and I just feel led to say. If you are, okay, I don't know. I'm trying to think about how to say this. I have Mercury square Neptune. Please forgive me. So sometimes my words are just. So sometimes we get like so hooked on crappy food, and crappy food can taste good, but then do you ever just eat something pure and you're like, wow, this is amazing? Do you know what I mean? Like pure, like I mean like a strawberry, just a strawberry, not a strawberry flavored something, or not, you know what I mean, just like a plain old strawberry or a plain old cucumber, and you just like, I don't know, sometimes I'm just kind of a weird person maybe, but I sometimes feel very like, man, that's so good, you know what I mean, and it's just so natural. It just grows out there. We didn't cook it, we didn't do anything, you know what I mean, it just is out there, and it didn't have to be prepared, and it's just so nourishing and yummy, right? And I almost feel like it could be that for some of you, if you are having diet struggles or you know that you need to eat more healthy, that might be an energy that you could use to help you enjoy food more, in healthful foods. Just think about how, clean and pure it is in some way. Like, do you know what I mean? Like without any junk, okay? And that you can, I feel like that they are, with that type of attitude, you could learn to, go on that diet. I feel like that message is probably not for most of you, but, I just had to say it. For others of you, this just could be about watch what you're putting inside of yourself, right? It might not even have to do with your actual diet that you eat. It could just be kind of like, what are you putting in your, inside of you? What are you taking in? Are you taking in love? I feel like that's something that you should be doing. Learn from the past, take in love, in order to help you, go forward and move on from something. If there has been something, bad in your life, maybe, you need to cleanse yourself a bit by watching happy things, watching what you do with yourself, what kind of habits you're keeping, what you're putting into your body and your mind. You know what I mean? And just appreciating that So don't drink the negativity of something bad that's happened, is what I'm kind of saying. Don't try to take it in too much. Just try to appreciate, well, this happened and that sucked, but, I'm going to move on and, continue on and keep going. And just sort of fill yourself with positive information rather than negative, is kind of what I'm getting. Like, so maybe watch something that's expanding and happy for you. Whether it's, a TV show that makes you feel good, or a movie, or songs or music. Songs or music is like same thing. Yeah. It could also be like, who you're talking to. Sorry, I had to restart my camera. Yeah, so I feel like that's going to be a message for you. Just watch what you're putting inside of yourself, and just appreciate kind of what's going on for now, because it's all a learning experience. And I feel like many of you are going to be going on a new adventure soon enough. And called to something in a way. I feel like with this arm out here, there might be a call to go do something new. So anyways, I hope that helps you guys. I know this reading was a little bit unusual. Hopefully I don't get too many dislikes. And hopefully you liked it and it helped you. Okay? So I'll see you all in the next reading. Take care, guys.